Welcome to Crossing the Tamsui River, the journey of Danjiang Bridge construction. In this course, we will take you on an in-depth exploration of one of Taiwan's most challenging engineering projects, the Danjiang Bridge. From the historical significance of the Tamsui River to the innovative design of a modern bridge, and the various challenges faced during construction, the video will provide a comprehensive showcase at this bridge, which is set to become a new landmark in New Taipei City. Through the perspectives of structural engineers, designers, and local residents, we will witness how a bridge connects the past with the future, reshaping the urban landscape of New Taipei City. In addition to guiding you through the history of Tamsui, the design features of Danjiang Bridge, its construction process, and its significance to New Taipei City, I have designed 3 multiple-choice questions to make sure you fully understand the video. Don't worry, all the answers are hidden in the video, waiting for you to discover. Moreover, to help you apply what you've learned, I've prepared a short answer question at the end of the lesson for you to review and solidify the knowledge you will gain today. Finally, don't forget to take the carefully designed post-course quiz to test your understanding of the course material. After completing this course, you will have a deeper understanding of Tamsui and the Danjiang Bridge. You will also have a better grasp of the topic-related vocabulary taught in the video. This learning experience will help improve your English skills and significantly enhance your knowledge of Taiwan. These learning outcomes are beneficial to increasing your knowledge and boosting your confidence and communication skills. For example, through this learning experience, when you encounter similar situations during your travels in the future, you will be able to engage in deeper conversations with others more confidently and express your views more clearly. No matter whether you have a strong interest in architecture or local culture, or you are new to this field, this course will provide you with a solid foundation, enabling you to further explore and research this fascinating area. We hope you can apply the knowledge and skills you will learn to everyday scenarios, creating more opportunities and rewards for your personal growth. Hearing about this course content and the learning outcomes, aren't you excited? Without further ado, let's get started. In the video, we'll first learn about the origins of the Danjiang Bridge project and its initial design concepts. Let's dive in and learn more about this remarkable bridge together. Before revealing the questions, I want to make sure you don't get too immersed in the video and forget to pay attention to the key points. Therefore, I have tagged attention prompts in the video to highlight the important points. Question 1. Which of the following statements about sampans on the Tamsui River and the Danjiang Bridge is correct? A. Sampans are a unique feature of the Tamsui River, existing for a short time and commonly used for crossing the river. B. The Tamsui River is an important waterway in eastern Taiwan, flowing through densely populated areas and holding significant geographical importance. C. The Danjiang Bridge will become the longest bridge of its kind in the world, with a very high level of construction difficulty. D. The design of the cables and the main structure of the Danjiang Bridge has no particular inspiration, with only load-bearing considerations. Got the question? Remember to pay attention to the attention prompts in the video. Let's play the video now. 3, 2, 1.
Canoe master Zhang Zonghui is busy restoring a sampan. It's a traditional fishing boat typical for this river. This one's 100 years old.
淡水上呢，对我来讲，其实好像是一个孤独的老人一样。现在虽然没落，但是我们不可以让它消失。
Mr. Zhang has lived his entire life beside this river. And while he's trying to preserve its traditions, he's also about to witness one of the biggest changes the river has ever seen. The Danshui River is the most significant waterway in northern Taiwan. Its basin runs 160 kilometers through some of the island's most densely populated regions. The estuary, leading into the Taiwan Strait, is the site of a major new project. It's going to set records. With a span of nearly a kilometer and a tower 70 stories high, it's to become a new landmark here and around the world. This is the Danjiang Bridge. New Taipei City is the island's largest city, home to over 4 million. The city covers 6% of the island and a huge variety of terrains, from rolling hills and high mountains to wide plains, beaches and bays. And, of course, every variety of urban landscape. The Danshui River meanders through the city for over 100 kilometers. It has not only fed and watered the land here, but also witnessed and marked the city's centennial history. For Zheng Weicheng, the river is about to become the biggest challenge of his career. He is the construction site director for the Danjiang Bridge project.
坦白说，我做了那么多20年左右的一个工程，最怕的就是水，因为我们这个地方刚好是整个河跟海的一个交汇口，刚好是波流交汇的地方，所以这个部分在工程技术上是一个很有挑战性的一个工作了。
Not just that, this is going to be the longest bridge of its type in the world. A single pylon, cable-stayed bridge spanning a river that is 1 kilometer wide. The Danjiang Bridge is the final major project designed by architect Zaha Hadid, famed for her work in Baku, Shanghai, and around the world. Hadid and her team decided on a single pylon design so as to have minimal impact on the views of the sunset, and also disturb the riverbed and its ecology as little as possible. The inspiration for the cables, particularly when lit at night, was a series of images of a dancer in motion. The 211-meter pylon, in turn, should resemble hands clasped in prayer, a blessing for those crossing the bridge. This slim tower of concrete will suspend all 920 meters of the bridge over the water. It might look simple, but construction will be anything but.
它除了单塔不对称这样子的配重是不对称之外，其实它的外形大家都知道，其实拉塔做出来的东西，其实它的外观是真的很难做。为了要支撑这么大的一座桥梁，而且我们的车道宽大概到70几公尺，所以我们主塔必须要承受非常大的一个重量，所以我们就在我们的主塔的这个地方开始往下挖，必须要开挖到水平面下16.5公尺，它的困难度真的是超乎我们之前想象的啦。
Wow, the Danjiang Bridge is truly spectacular. This question was a bit challenging. Did you get it right? Let's reveal the answer. Question 1. Which of the following statements about sampans on the Tamsui River and the Danjiang Bridge is correct? A. Sampans are a unique feature of the Tamsui River, existing for a short time and commonly used for crossing the river. B. The Tamsui River is an important waterway in eastern Taiwan, flowing through densely populated areas and holding significant geographical importance. C. The Danjiang Bridge will become the longest bridge of its kind in the world, with a very high level of construction difficulty. D. The design of the cables and the main structure of the Danjiang Bridge has no particular inspiration, with only load-bearing considerations. The correct answer is C. Options A, B, and D are incorrect. The video mentioned that sampans are indeed a unique feature of the Tamsui River and have been around for over 100 years, often used for fishing. The Tamsui River is the most important river in northern Taiwan, stretching 160 kilometers and flowing through one of the most densely populated areas, making its geographical location significant. Lastly, the design team chose a single tower structure for the Danjiang Bridge to avoid blocking the sunset view and to minimize disturbance to the riverbed and ecology. The design of the cables was inspired by the graceful movements of a dancer, and under the nightlights, the shadows of the cables resemble a dancer in motion. The video mentioned sampans, a type of boat. But do you know how to say other types of boats? Here I've compiled 6 different types of boats for you. Can you guess the English names of the 6 types of boats below? Feel free to pause the video and take your time to think about it. Sampan. A small, open boat often used for short trips or as a lifeboat. Example, the fisherman steered his sampan through the narrow river channels. Cruise ship. A large, luxurious ship designed specifically for passenger travel and recreation, typically on long journeys. Example, they enjoyed a week-long holiday on a cruise ship around the Mediterranean. Ferry. A boat or ship used to carry people, vehicles, and goods across a body of water. Example, we took the ferry to reach the island from the mainland. Yacht. A medium to large-sized boat used for leisure, typically equipped with luxurious amenities. Example, they spent the weekend sailing on a yacht along the coast. Cargo ship. A large vessel designed to transport goods and materials, typically in containers or bulk form. Example, the cargo ship delivered goods to several ports across Asia. Submarine. A vessel capable of underwater operation, typically used for military or exploration purposes. Example, the submarine explored the depths of the ocean for scientific research. Great, let's review them once more. Sampan, cruise ship, ferry, yacht, cargo ship, submarine. Next, aside from learning about different types of boats, the most important focus in the video is the bridge. Did you know that there are also many different types of bridges? Here, I've compiled 6 different types of bridges for you. You can pause the video again and think about how to say these 6 types of bridges in English. Suspension bridge. A type of bridge where the deck is hung below suspension cables, typically supported by towers. Example, the Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most famous suspension bridges in the world. Beam bridge. A simple type of bridge made from a horizontal beam supported at each end by piers. Example, a simple wooden beam bridge spans the small river. Arch bridge. A bridge that is shaped like an arch with the load distributed outward along the curve to the supports at each end. Example, the ancient stone arch bridge has stood over the river for centuries. Footbridge. A bridge designed specifically for pedestrians, often built over roads or rivers to provide a safe crossing. Example, we crossed the busy street using the footbridge to reach the park. Log bridge. A simple bridge made from one or more logs placed across a stream or gap. Example, the hikers carefully crossed the stream on a narrow log bridge. Drawbridge. A bridge that can be raised or lowered to allow ships to pass through. Example, the drawbridge was raised to let the tall ship pass through. Let's review them once again. Suspension bridge, beam bridge, arch bridge, footbridge, log bridge, drawbridge. Congratulations on completing the first question. We've already understood the design concept of the Danjiang Bridge. Next, we will explore the technical challenges of the construction process, how experts overcame these challenges, and a brief history of the development of Tamsui. Let's keep watching. Question 2. Which of the following statements about the construction technology of the Danjiang Bridge and the description of Tamsui is correct? A. The Danjiang Bridge's main tower is as tall as a 70-story building, making the foundation construction extremely challenging. B. The construction of the Danjiang Bridge was solely to showcase the financial strength of the new Taipei city government and had no other significance. C. Tamsui's old name is Huey, and it was one of the last areas in Taiwan to be developed, resulting in slower progress. D. Tamsui only flourished during the Ming Dynasty, when paper-making technology was advanced and a lot of paper was exported. Got the question? Remember to pay attention to the attention prompts in the video. Let's play the video now. 3, 2, 1.
Today, for example, the builders are tying in rebars at the bottom of the cofferdam, the enclosure that keeps the water out of the work site. They are going to form part of the foundation for the tower. It's going to be 70 stories high, planted in the middle of a tidal estuary. It will need to be absolutely stable to keep the bridge safe. Supporting the foundation raft are 58 huge piles, 2.5 meters across and 65 meters tall. They've been driven into the bedrock below and will be the main support for the bridge.
那这个基础到底有多大呢？它的混凝土胶质量达到15000多方，的一个数量。我们评估大概要4天4夜，来完成这个基础胶质。那整个钢筋的一个总吨数达到5、6千吨，这个在国内整个桥梁工程来说，像这样那么大的一个桥墩柱，实际上是很少见的。
When the concrete is poured, it will surround all this reinforcing steel in a pile cap 5 meters thick. The bridge tower will grow upwards from this. The bridge is more than just a technical showpiece. On its completion in 2025, it will bind New Taipei City together.
丹江大桥其实它最重要就是把我们淡水河的两岸淡水跟八里整个可以连接起来。这边新市镇30万人口的这个计划，那这边能够台北港这边有一个产业物流中心，那整个就可以连起来，无形中就把我北部区域整个的交通动脉就整合起来了。
Danshui has a long history. It used to be known as Huwei and is the first area that was developed in northern Taiwan. Every colonial power has left its mark here. During the 17th century, the age of discovery, Spanish and Dutch traders in the Far East recognized Danshui's strategic military location. They only remained just over 30 years altogether, but there was time to build a fortress which still stands. It took another couple of centuries into the Qing dynasty for Danshui to realize its commercial potential, as it was transformed from a fishing village to an international trading port, the largest one in the north of the island. Over half of the tea grown in Taiwan passed through Danshui Port on its way to China, Southeast Asia, and beyond. These were the glory days of the early port.
Wow! It turns out that building a bridge is so challenging. And who knew Tamsui's history is so rich? I'll be sure to appreciate it more next time I visit Tamsui. But first, let's reveal the answer. Question 2. Which of the following statements about the construction technology of the Danjiang Bridge and the description of Tamsui is correct? A. The Danjiang Bridge's main tower is as tall as a 70-story building, making the foundation construction extremely challenging. B. The construction of the Danjiang Bridge was solely to showcase the financial strength of the new Taipei city government. and had no other significance. C. Tamsui's old name is Hue, and it was one of the last areas in Taiwan to be developed, resulting in slower progress. D. Tamsui only flourished during the Ming Dynasty, when papermaking technology was advanced and a lot of paper was exported. The correct answer is A. Options B, C, and D are incorrect. The video mentioned that the construction of the Danjiang Bridge is not only a demonstration of architectural technology, but once completed, it will further connect the entire new Taipei city. Additionally, while Tamsui's old name is indeed Hue, it was one of the earliest developed areas in northern Taiwan, with a long history. Tamsui was recognized for its immense commercial potential during the Qing Dynasty, and became one of the most important ports in northern Taiwan at that time. Over half of Taiwan's tea was exported worldwide through Tamsui. Congratulations on completing the second question. The construction process of the Danjiang Bridge is truly challenging, but its completion will bring significant development to New Taipei City. Next, let's explore how the Danjiang Bridge will impact regional traffic and the economy. Question 3. Which of the following statements about the Danjiang Bridge is correct? A. Once completed, the Danjiang Bridge will alleviate traffic congestion in Tamsui. B. The biggest and most critical issue in designing the structure of the Danjiang Bridge was addressing earthquake risks. C. In response to Taiwan's natural disasters, the designers installed special devices in the bridge's structure. D. All of the above. Got the question? Remember to pay attention to the attention prompts in the video. Let's play the video now. 3, 2, 1.
This 400-year history has left its mark, with unique customs, and above all, many precious historical sites. As a result, Danshui is New Taipei City's most popular tourist attraction, with over 7 million visitors every year. But having so many visitors has led to increasing motor traffic and congestion. The single existing bridge is overcrowded.
现在观光越来越发达，每到假日的时候，这个地方塞车大概都非常非常严重。那再加上这个地方它的居住人口越来越多，那所以台二线的交通跟我们到关渡桥的那个塞车其实非常严重。那对于整个交通来讲，其实它的成本其实非常大。
The new Danjiang Bridge can take some of the burden, diverting up to 30% of the traffic away from the old bridge.
I enjoy my life here in Taiwan. It's a very beautiful country, nature, and the people are very nice. And I feel very, very good in Danshui. I like bicycle riding. So for me, it's perfect. There is the riverside, Danshui, Bali, and a lot of bicycle tracks.
German Cornelius Krieger has been living in Danshui for nearly 10 years. It's his home away from home. But he's here for more than just the spectacular views and the cycling opportunities. He's the structural engineer for the Danjiang Bridge. It's his job to make the design a reality, one that's safe and convenient. But here he is faced with a natural challenge he doesn't face at home in Germany.
Taiwan has a lot of earthquakes. I think this was maybe the biggest technical problem to be solved.
当地震力纵向的、横向的来到这个地区传递过来之后，我要怎么样去把它消除？那所以说，我们除了本身强度之外，那我们还在这个桥上增加了很多所谓的隔减震措施。
They have designed a special hydraulic connector for the bridge. For most of the time, it maintains a firm connection between the pylon and the road deck. But as soon as an earthquake is detected, the connector becomes a damper, dissipating the energy and absorbing the movement. The bridge is calculated to withstand magnitude 7 earthquakes and above.
It's a very special device. The bridge will swing and move during the earthquake, and when the earthquake is starting to slow down, then the fuse will close and then you have the fixed connection again.
Back to the construction site. Nearly a third of the work has been completed. Over the next 3 years, the central tower, the Praying Hands, will rise up, and the road deck and cables will all be connected to it. Many more challenges remain for Zheng Weicheng and his team, but the end will be worth all the effort.
那我们在这边做，我们大概每天都会看到那个飞机飞过去，将来淡江大桥就会变成整个国门。一看到淡江大桥就知道台湾到了，就是一个很老很老的一个地标。
Because I'm a Danshui resident, so obviously the bridge is very important to me. I really think it's the most beautiful bridge I have ever involved in. I'm very, very proud.
第一个代表我们新北市，那同时它也是代表台湾的，所以那种期待的心情呢，大家实在是非常怎么讲啊，就是溢于言表了。
Canoe master Zhang Zonghui, the lover of Danshui tradition, welcomes the future that this bridge will usher in.
盖好之后，我想它的景色应该会更好，能够展现出那个淡水河一个明显的一个地标，就是两边这种交通啊，我想会带来很大的这个便利啊，还有这个整个地方的繁荣啊。
The Danshui River runs through northern Taiwan's most significant region. It has irrigated and fed the land and allowed trade to flourish. And a vast, dynamic, growing city has sprung up on its banks. Today the river is prized, its environment protected, its beauty admired by millions of visitors. Soon, its banks will be bound together by a new bridge, a design masterpiece that will change its appearance and bring still more attention. It will be an international landmark, setting New Taipei City firmly on the world stage.
Wow! It turns out that designing the Danjiang Bridge required so much consideration. Truly impressive. Let's reveal the answer. Question 3. Which of the following statements about the Danjiang Bridge is correct? A. Once completed, the Danjiang Bridge will alleviate traffic congestion in Tamsui. B. The biggest and most critical issue in designing the structure of the Danjiang Bridge was addressing earthquake risks. C. In response to Taiwan's natural disasters, the designers installed special devices in the bridge's structure. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. The video mentioned that due to the booming tourism industry and the growing number of local residents, the traffic congestion in the area has become increasingly severe, and the current bridge can no longer handle the load. Therefore, once the Danjiang Bridge is completed, it will help divert a portion of the traffic, with an estimated 30% of the traffic being redirected from the old bridge, alleviating the congestion in Tamsui. Additionally, when designing the structure of the Danjiang Bridge, the biggest and most critical issue was addressing Taiwan's frequent earthquakes. As a result, the designers incorporated special devices into the bridge's structure to dissipate energy and absorb vibrations. The Danjiang Bridge is expected to withstand earthquakes of magnitude 7 or higher. The video mentioned that Taiwan is a region prone to earthquakes. I'm sure many of you can be aware of this issue. So, here's a compilation of 8 different types of natural disasters. Feel free to pause the video and think about how you would say these natural disasters in English. Earthquake. A sudden and violent shaking of the ground, often causing great destruction. Example. The earthquake caused buildings to collapse and roads to crack. Typhoon. a powerful tropical storm with strong winds and heavy rain, particularly in the western Pacific region. Example: the powerful typhoon swept through the region, uprooting trees and damaging homes across the coastline. Hailstorm, a storm characterized by the falling of hail, which is formed by small ice pellets that fall from the sky. Example: the hailstorm damaged cars and crops in the area. Flood, a phenomenon where water overflows onto land, typically caused by heavy rain, river overflow, or melting snow. Example: the floodwaters rose quickly, forcing residents to evacuate. Landslide, a phenomenon where rocks, soil, or debris slide down a slope, typically triggered by heavy rain, earthquakes, or volcanic activity. Example: the landslide buried several houses and blocked the road. Drought, a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall leading to a shortage of water. Example: the drought affected crops and caused water shortages in many areas. Tornado, a rapidly rotating column of air that extends from a thunderstorm to the ground, often causing severe damage. Example: the tornado destroyed several buildings and uprooted trees in its path. Volcanic eruption, a phenomenon where a volcano suddenly releases lava, ash, and gases. Example: the volcanic eruption covered the nearby villages in ash and forced the evacuation of thousands of residents. Let's do one final review together. Remember to speak out loud as you go through it. Earthquake, typhoon, hailstorm, flood, landslide, drought, tornado, volcanic eruption. Now we are about to embark on a more challenging and interesting phase. This question requires a short answer. It will test you on the knowledge you've learned from the video. Let's take on the challenge together. Short answer question. If you were to take your foreign friends to visit Tamsui as mentioned in the video, how would you introduce Tamsui's history and the Danjiang Bridge to them? A bit difficult, isn't it? Don't worry, I've got a list of words you might use to prepare an answer. 1. Tamsui River. 2. Danjiang Bridge. 3. Huwei. 4. Qing Dynasty. 5. Landmark. 6. Commercial. 7. Dense. 8. Tourist attraction. 9. Traffic congestion. 10. Earthquake. You can pause the video and think about how to use these words. If you already have an answer, read it out or write it down. Remember, practice makes perfect. Did you try to answer the question? If the answer is yes, that's great. If not, that's okay. Let me show you my answer. Please read along with me out loud. The Tamsui River flows through New Taipei City and is one of the area's important waterways. During the Qing Dynasty, Huwei, now known as Tamsui, was a significant commercial port with bustling trade activities. Today, Tamsui has developed into a densely residential area and a popular tourist attraction. To reduce traffic congestion and improve transportation, the government began constructing the Danjiang Bridge, which spans the Tamsui River and will become a major landmark in New Taipei City. However, since Taiwan is located in an earthquake zone, special consideration was made for seismic design during the construction to ensure the safety of the bridge. Congratulations on completing all the questions. Have you learned a lot at the end of this course? I also want to share a piece of good news with you. At the end of the video, there's a quiz for you to do so that you can review what you've learned from the video. So don't forget to do the quiz after watching the video. Enjoy studying. Bye.